James Lawrence Allcott is in the house. And that is an honour for me to say. Thank you so much, James.
It's good to be here. I'm actually outside the back of the house.
Mate, it is a joy to have you on this channel, and I really do appreciate you. Finding the time. Right,
Good,
we have to talk Liverpool Football Club. They were the champions last year. They won the league in a very professional way. They were clearly the best team in the country, and they were clearly going to win the league from about February.
Yep.
They then went and had a Galactico-like summer.
Yep.
Since then, I think it's fair to say that basically nothing has gone to plan.
Yeah.
It's been incredibly unfortunate in certain circumstances, and it has gone majorly wrong in certain circumstances. With all of this in mind, what do you make of Liverpool?
I think they're caught between two eras, or sort of like they are wholeheartedly at the end of one era. And if you think of the Klopp era, he built a team. That team was then brilliant and young and fresh and all those things, and then one by one it sort of gets broken up a little bit due to sort of different reasons, but they've still been so strong for such a long time. He then leaves, and it's that year after is always a really interesting one, where like sometimes what has been in place can carry over, and sometimes other things can help as well. And I think the best of the rest that were still there were amazing. Salah was sensational, Van Dijk of course. The whole collective was good, and they were in a good place as well. And then Arne Slot added some like really, really nice touches to it. You know, think of like Gravenberch and like that new role for him and how good he was. But yeah, it being that 1 year, they then probably knew there was a lot of evolution that needed to take place, and they gave the deal to Salah, they gave the deal to Van Dijk, but they obviously still needed to kind of resolve everything else. And I think the truth of the matter is they're caught between two places at the moment.
And it looked like a brilliant window. I mean, on paper, it looked like a brilliant window. Florian Wirtz is a class act. Like, I truly believe, some footballers, and I do go quite early on it, but some footballers I write off. Like, I think Arsenal will win the league, but I don't think Victor Gyökeres will ever be the man they need him to be. I just don't think he will be. I still believe Florian Wirtz is going to shine in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I still believe he's going to be a brilliant player for Liverpool, and I think he'll win major trophies with Liverpool, a lot of them.
I agree.
That's how good I think he is. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like you're right, and you see it, don't you? I think I saw a clip of, and I hadn't heard anyone say it, but you're willing to do it. And you went, I think it's time we have to say that Gyökeres is a dud. And like obviously that can turn around, but deep down in, I think most people's guts, they feel like you're not seeing enough from the eye test. Like sometimes the stats aren't there, and that's stats are to sort of give context to your eyes. With Wirtz, there's still moments in a game where you're going, oof.
Even when it was going wrong, do you know what he should have? Just to demonstrate quite how brilliant he was. And this is when it wasn't going that well for him or for Liverpool. He should have one of the best assists I've ever seen. Do you remember the pirouette at Stamford Bridge in front of the shed end, in front of the end that the Liverpool fans were sitting? It's one of the best. Like, there isn't many footballers that can even see that, let alone execute it.
Yeah.
That's how good Wirtz is.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, it's not gone well for Liverpool. They must make sure that they finish in the Champions League spots this year. That's a guarantee. They must do that. If they can have a great European run, win European, obviously, but just make sure that they are a Champions League club for next season.
Yeah.
But with Ekitike, with Alexander Isak finding his fitness again, with Florian Wirtz a year into a Premier League career, I just think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think they have to be fine. I think they've, and still like the money thing that gets discussed a lot. Like it's big numbers, right? But they recouped a lot as well. I think they brought in like 200 million. So if you think of Newcastle have spent 200 something million, I think, and I'm rubbish with the numbers, so hopefully I'm not getting it too wrong. That huge number that Liverpool have kind of used, it's offset, right? So there's still probably some money there for them to kind of go and sort out. And I think also what's crucial here is, again, if you're sort of halfway between two places, like where you have been, but like where you kind of need to get to create a dynasty again, a lot of the components are good. It's just not enough. There's not enough there.
Yeah.
And I think there's been instances where they've not really given Wirtz the keys, like totally, in terms of really like letting him go where he wants to and do what he wants to and platforming him. I don't think they've done that very well. They've had injuries this year. They've had drama as well along the way. They've had so many and horrible, tragic things, as we all know, as well, which all play a part in it. But I think, it will come back around. The only thing I would say is that I think Van Dijk will have, that will end at some point, obviously. So how do you resolve that? Who's the next guy? Is it Xhaka and Leone? We spoke about it on the pod this week. It was interesting. We had Reese, who's got a channel called Pythagoras and Boots, and he knows him better than me. Like, I'd seen some of him, but nowhere near the amount that he had. He was not sure about him, right. Xhaka. And I thought that was interesting because when a new signing comes...
It's only 30 games he's played, because we nearly signed him, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only 30 games. You're like, this is a lot of money for a bloke who's played 30 games, hasn't played international football, hasn't played Champions League football. There's a lot of questions. Look, this isn't me doing this because Liverpool have hijacked the move.
Yeah.
It's just...
Good.
Do you see what I did?
Yeah.
I was kind of worried about it from our perspective. I was like, this is just another... Liverpool are different because they're able to juxtapose a young player like Xhaka coming in and have him being taught by Van Dijk, right?
Yeah.
So it's different. But from our perspective, I was thinking, this is just another kid to play with another kid who... where is our experience? For Liverpool, I do appreciate it's different.
And that's it. I think inevitably when you have that conversation, you'll get people not liking it because you're kind of, you're being negative on a player. But I think the opposite is generally true where people say every player is the next coming of Christ. So the truth is, even say like Lenny Yoro, who I think everyone agrees is a good player, but you don't know if, life gets in the way. Like you have no idea if a signing is going to work or not. And so you don't know that with Xhaka, as much as he is he is a wonder kid and he is a really exciting talent. You don't know. So they have to go for it to a point. They have to invest in these kind of players and hope it all comes to be. But, we both know that every team needs to either bring in those like leaders, talisman, or they have to grow in the job.
Yeah.
And that's what will have to occur with Liverpool because in Salah and Van Dijk, you're losing.
Yeah.
You're going to lose two of them.
What do you think happens with Salah? Do you feel like he stays for another season? Or do you think... Because he signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah. I think I'd be amazed if he's playing in August. I'll be absolutely amazed. I think from what I've seen a couple of things, I think it was Ben Jacobs said that sort of the Saudis are going to go again.
Yeah.
In terms of like big investment. That feels like an absolute tap-in, if you know what I mean, when it comes to Salah, and it will suit Liverpool down to the ground as well, just to get that kind of out of the way. Yeah. But you're also recouping some money on 34 or whatever it's 32, 33. So I think that needs to end, and you need to move on, rightly or wrongly. There'll definitely be the conversation last year. It's like, how have you let him go if you have a couple of bad games? But that is the growing pains of like one great team, ideally for Liverpool fans, turning into a new great team. You have to invest in new stock. And the new stock is Ekitike, it's Isak, it's Wirtz, 100%.
And what do you think happens? So,
in my opinion,
Isak is apparently going to be back fairly soon from the leg break. It's going to be, March, April. Do you think that he immediately goes back into the first team? Do you think they can't drop Ekitike, can they?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how far they go in the Champions League.
Yeah.
That could play a part. I think what it helps is having, Ekitike is the star at the moment. And he's come back from a leg break. So that gives you an excuse to like let him be the sub in all of this initially. But at some point, there'll be a difficult decision. And at some point in the next 18 months, it'd be interesting to see either you get Ekitike happy to drift over to the left-hand side, or if you're going to have two of them together, maybe that works. But otherwise, if it's like most teams where you have one striker through the middle, one of them's going to want to go, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you think they could all play together? Like, can Ekitike, Isak, Wirtz, Salah all play in the same team this year?
I think they might try it here and there. I think he will keep naturally reverting to type a little bit just with the players that he's got right now. Once Isak's back, again, he's going to be back in March, but he's going to be fit by when? Like, mid-April at best, let's say. So it's a bit of a write-off when it comes to him. So do you want to explore that or not? When you've got, what you're going to get with Gakpo, what you're going to get with Salah to a point, what you're going to get with that structure. So with that structure, you should be able to get Champions League football, which is all he wants, Slot. But it's a difficult position for Slot to be in.
Where do you sit on Slot? Like Lotsman, where do you sit on Slot? Sibilance. Yeah. Where
you're on fire.
I mean, a lot of Liverpool fans, certainly Liverpool fans that I follow, on social media, they seem to have lost patience with him.
I think they're not excited by his football at the moment.
I know.
And I think Klopp's football is so exciting that sits with an identity that you want, that you can share and buy into. So I think that's a bit of a difficulty for him. And it's this, Alonso's in the room.
Just won't go away, will
It's not going to.
No.
It's not. And I still can't find the best analogy for it, but it's like, it's like when you're watching a film and you're like, oh, she should be getting with that guy.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that, I think. I think I found it.
Yeah. No, that's what it is.
And I don't know how that goes away.
It's like when Ross wasn't with Rachel. Yeah. It's like when Ross was marrying that English girl.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
And she's fine.
Yeah, Helen Baxendale's a good actress, mate. She's very pretty. But she's not.
Not Rachel.
Not
yeah,
Rachel.
That's it. That is exactly it.
Who'd have thought Helen Baxendale would be the answer?
So, I just don't know how that goes away. And where else? Because the thing as well, say with Alonso, it's like, where else does Alonso go?
No, exactly. He's done Real Madrid, which would be the obvious place for him to go, right? Because the Alonso family, the Real Madrid links, played for them. It makes sense, but that hasn't worked.
Yeah, it's done now.
The only other alternative, I guess, would be, do you think has his managerial brilliance been affected? Has his stock been negatively affected by being sacked from Real Madrid?
I think there's an easy spin, and he's got the CV in the bank of like doing obviously something incredible by Leverkusen and Real Madrid. By all reports, if it's right or wrong, who knows? But like that is a team of egos, and that's obviously been an issue here. It feels
no, but I felt sorry for Alonso. I felt sorry for Slot. When Slot was being interviewed and people were asking, or a journalist asked Slot questions about Alonso, I thought that was disrespectful.
Yeah.
Similarly, though, I felt very sorry for Alonso. I don't know why, but I had the F1 on, right? This was at work. I didn't put it.
You're getting your Alonso's mixed up here.
Very good. No, so I had the F1 on.
Yeah.
And Florentino Perez was at the F1, and he was just all over Zinedine Zidane. It was like, you can't do that. You're like cheating on. You can't do that. Right. So, and when I saw that, this is when Alonso was still the Real Madrid manager. We're all looking at it. We're at work. We're at TalkSport, and it's on, and the camera was just focusing on that, and it was like, this doesn't feel good for Alonso, man. This doesn't feel good.
Well, and it's crazy, like how quick it's kind of got fallen to pieces. I think, just to say with Slot as well, I think that he is hugely respected by the fan base. I think he's held himself when you're losing, with the amount of noise that's in football, people are going to pick on things. But I think overall, and it's so hard with these management, they've got to do press conferences and stuff like that, and everything they've gone through. I think the thing that's irking Liverpool fans is the football.
Yeah, I think because also you can swallow a lot as a football fan when you're winning games and winning trophies.
Yeah,
like people will often talk about the particular way they want the game to be played, or wanting to play an expansive attacking style. And Tottenham fans are a great example for this. When they thought Mourinho was going to win them the league, they were happy enough.
Yeah.
They when Conte was beating Arsenal 3-0 to qualify for the Champions League, but doing it through the lens of negativity. They weren't talking about the famous Tottenham tradition of Chris Waddle and whatever else then. Everybody kind of adjust the goalpost if you're winning.
Yeah, totally.
But when you're losing and you're not winning games, I think people then go, wait, where is our style?
Yeah, it's everything. Well, that's the next hurdle, isn't it? And if you're sort of, or the next door to go through is if they've had a go, but they've lost, you can live with that a little bit more. And I think it's not that they're not having a go. I just think, it's just not that Klopp energy, which is really hard.
Do you think they'll be worried? All this noise about Guardiola? Do you think the Liverpool hierarchy will be at all worried that it looks like Pep Guardiola could leave City this year? That doesn't feel like a weird thing to say.
No.
Apparently Manchester City have a 3-man list and Xabi Alonso's on it. Not only would he be on it, right, I would say that if you look at who else is on it, he would be the jewel in the crown of it. It's like Enzo Maresca's on it.
Right. Yeah.
So do you think Liverpool will think we better get Alonso in now, because if he goes to City, suddenly we might not ever get him?
I don't know, but what I struggle to not believe is that a phone call has taken place.
You think they know already?
Well, you think this? Everyone's talking about this, thinking about this. It is logical. He is a hero of the club. He's a good manager, smart manager, all those things. Is no one it just feels naive to me that no one's having a chat and it's not even already decided.
What do you think happens with Liverpool this season? Do you feel like they'll be okay?
I think they'll be okay. Do you know what? I had this intrusive thought today that they could maybe win the Champions League.
I don't think it's wild. It's Liverpool. We've seen worse Liverpool teams than this win the Champions League.
I saw this great video. I can't remember who it was. I want to say that I can't remember, but they were talking about how difficult it is for an English team to win the Champions League because PSG played Arsenal last year and they went through Arsenal, Villa, and Liverpool, right? So beat them all. So you'd go, yes, of course they're better, yes, but in between the Arsenal in the first leg and the second leg, Arsenal played. I can't remember who it was, but let's say I think it was like Bournemouth and Liverpool. So, and in the rankings of like all the European teams, in terms of how good they are, that essentially was the 25th best team in Europe and the best in Liverpool. PSG played Montpellier and someone else, and it was the equivalent of the 300th.
Yeah.
So that the respite that you can get from that in between all those tough games. Yeah. So with Liverpool, if they can get on a good run and keep it all together and get far enough in the distance in terms of getting to the Champions League, which is maybe a sort of a dangerous thing to say, that can be their focus. Whereas for Arsenal, Man
they'd
City,
have to fight on many fronts.
Yeah, it might be a bit
right.
different.
Cards on the table then.
Go on.
Who do you think is the Liverpool manager for the first game of the new season?
I'm struggling to get away from the Alonso thing. I'm really struggling to get away from it. I just think he's Rachel.
He's Rachel.
I just think he's Rachel. Yeah.
Take the Rachel.
Yeah.
Take the Rachel.
I think I'd love to know if there are any fans of Liverpool that are going, no, I want Arne Slot.
I agree.
And I don't think it's a personal thing, but it kind of is as well.
Yeah.
It's just Alonso's just sexier, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Mate, thank you.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for watching. Really do appreciate that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and make sure that you click the link in the description below. You will find a link there to James Allcott's YouTube channel. It is one of the very best.